They said the future would be wireless, digital, electric. A clean revolution where cars run without gas, phones light up without cords, and homes glow without smoke. They promised it would be green, sustainable, and ethical. But what they never told you, what they buried under billion-dollar tech launches and shiny EV commercials, is that the world's clean future is soaked in African blood. Deep beneath the Earth's skin, in the heart of the Congo, lies cobalt, the blue gold, the critical mineral in nearly every lithium-ion battery. Your phone, your laptop, your electric car, they all breathe because of cobalt. And 70% of the world's cobalt comes from the Democratic Republic of Congo. But this isn't a story of prosperity. It's a story of exploitation, of children lowered into dark holes with bare hands, of broken families, of land stripped naked, and governments sold to the highest bidder. This is not a resource story. This is a crime scene. And it starts with colonial ghosts and ends in Silicon Valley boardrooms. The soil in Congo has always been rich, too rich for its own good. First, it was rubber under King Leopold's reign, when hands were cut off for missing quotas. Then it was copper, uranium for the Manhattan Project, gold, diamonds, and now cobalt. It's as if the earth itself is a curse and a blessing, a treasure chest surrounded by vultures. Villages that sit on top of cobalt veins are forced to choose, move or die poor. And those who stay become miners, not by profession but by survival. Artisanal mining is a nice term. It suggests craftsmanship. But in reality, it means children as young as 6 digging with spoons, with no gloves, no helmets, no light, just desperation and dust. In Kolwezi, boys crawl into makeshift tunnels that collapse like paper. Girls wash the cobalt with bare hands in toxic streams. Parents trade safety for coins. And middlemen buy the ore at cents, sell it for dollars, and ship it to factories in China. China processes 80% of the world's cobalt. Western companies don't want blood on their hands, so they outsource the violence. Brands like Tesla, Apple, Samsung, each of them says they have ethical sourcing policies. But trace the chain backwards, and it ends in a muddy pit in Congo. No receipts. No questions. Just cobalt. In one case, a child named Dorson was found crying as he dug in the rain. His friend had just died. A tunnel caved in. The body was never found. Dorson was 10. His hands were blistered, but he kept digging because if he didn't, his family wouldn't eat. This isn't fiction. It's the cost of your notifications, your fast charge, your green tech. The irony is brutal. To save the planet, the West sacrifices Africa. Again. You see, clean energy has a dirty core. Cobalt mining destroys rivers, poisons crops, displaces communities. But the Congolese government sees dollars. Corruption runs deep. Chinese companies offer infrastructure projects, roads, schools, hospitals, in exchange for mining rights. But those roads lead to mines. Those schools never open. And the people never see the benefits. In 2021, a whistleblower leaked that over $750 million from mining deals disappeared. Vanished. Meanwhile, miners make $1, $2 a day. Their lungs fill with dust. Their bodies collapse. And when they die, there's no paperwork, no justice. Just another name erased. This is neocolonialism in 4K. But the world doesn't blink. Because the products work. Because the batteries last longer. Because the future looks bright. The question is, bright for whom? Not for the families in Lualaba province. Not for the girls forced into labor because their fathers died in a pit. Not for the boys with broken backs at 13. The world celebrates net zero goals, but Africa pays the carbon price. Western governments fund environmental campaigns, but say nothing about child minors. There are laws, sure, but they're flexible. Loopholes exist. And when companies get caught, they deny. Or worse, they settle. Money shuts mouths. But not eyes. Not anymore. There are voices rising. NGOs have risked everything to expose the supply chains. Journalists have gone undercover. Lawsuits have been filed. In 2019, families sued Apple, Google, Tesla, Microsoft, and Dell, accusing them of aiding and abetting forced labor. The companies denied knowledge. But is ignorance a defense when your billions depend on silence? Diddy once said, "More money, more problems." But in this case, it's more silence, more suffering. Let's talk about geopolitics. While America debates ESG scores, China controls the Cobalt game. Through a web of companies like China Molybdenum and Zhejiang Huayu, they own major stakes in Congo's mining sector. They offer low-interest loans. They build airports. They control logistics. And they win. Africa once traded ivory for mirrors. Now it trades its soul for solar panels. The West is scrambling. The EU passed legislation to classify cobalt as a strategic raw material. The US launched the Minerals Security Partnership. But it's late. China is 10 moves ahead. And the Congolese people? They remain pawns on a board built for kings. This isn't just a Congo story. It's a mirror to Africa. The same script plays out in Ghana with gold, in Nigeria with oil, in South Africa with platinum. A resource-rich continent exporting raw wealth, importing pain. Generation after generation. The names change. The minerals change. But the outcome is constant. Africa bleeds while the world builds. And now, with the global transition to green energy, the demand for cobalt is set to triple by 2030. The question is, at what cost? Who holds the companies accountable? Who protects the children? Who audits the mines? Some say the answer is innovation, synthetic cobalt, battery recycling. Others say blockchain can track ethical sourcing. But the truth is, until Africa owns its resources, nothing will change. Until mining licenses come with human rights clauses, until profit margins include justice, until global brands treat African lives as equal, not invisible, the blood will keep flowing. The battery will keep charging. And the truth will keep hurting. But maybe this is the moment we stop pretending. Maybe this is where the untold becomes told. Maybe you, watching this, realize that your device, yes, the one in your hand, is powered by pain. And maybe that knowledge becomes action, awareness, pressure. Because behind every battery is a child. Behind every electric dream is a nightmare. And it's not fair, but it's real. Africa powers the world, but pays the price. Not in shares, not in credit, but in bodies, in buried dreams, in broken bones. That must end. The future must be green, but it must also be just. The world owes Africa more than thanks. It owes her justice. If this truth struck a chord, make your voice count. Subscribe to Continent Pulse, where Africa's untold stories meet global impact. Like, if you believe power should never silence the truth, comment below. Should legacy protect someone from accountability? Share this story, because silence protects no one.